Okay. Are we ready? Good morning, everyone. Nice to see your smiling faces. So, are we going to talk about something, or are we just going to sit? So, find a comfortable position to sit. And then if you want to share something afterwards, we'll open that space. And when you're ready, just close your eyes and start bringing attention inward. Remembering that we're not doing anything. We're just spending some time with ourselves, observing, being present. We're not meditating. That would be doing again. We're just sitting with ourselves, feeling this moment. Anchoring ourselves through the perception of the body first. Feeling the solidity of the body and its weight on the cushion. Allowing every part of the body to relax so that gravitation can just pull it towards itself. So we could call it a physical letting go of all tensions in the body. Just letting go into this moment. As you let go, you might feel more the attraction of the earth, as if your body is sinking deeper into the cushion, into the floor. Also perceiving the uplifting energy of the sky. Pulling up from the top of your head. That allows you not to collapse completely as you let go. The pull of the sky allows you to perceive the vertical line that is supporting your upright position. It's not only physical, it's also energetic. So energetically, you're pulled and sustained from the bottom and from the top. You're pulled in two directions, as to say. Your whole energy body becomes a bridge, a connection between earth and sky. Just like a tree. A big tree with deep roots in the ground and tall, tall branches aiming for the sky. If your mind wants to wander, bring it back to the perception of the body and feeling the earth pulling and the sky pulling. This is your first and most important anchor. When we start. Now you can include in your awareness the perception of the breathing that is happening by itself. Notice if your belly is moving as you breathe in. Notice if your diaphragm is relaxed. And let that sensation of the belly also being pulled by the earth. Let go of your belly, let it fall downwards. And that will help the diaphragm also to relax. And then you will be more easily breathing from your belly. Feel the connection of your Hara, your belly center, with the earth. Feel the in-breath going deep down through your chest, through your stomach, into the belly. Imagine that even though the air goes only in the lungs, the pranic energy reaches deep into your belly center. With every in-breath, you recharge your Hara center with elan vital, life energy. Vitality. Keep enjoying that feeling in your belly as if you're recharging a battery with every in-breath and with the attraction of the earth. These two energies are converging to your belly from above and from below. Because the in-breath also comes from above, just like sky energy. So allow all the energies converging in this moment towards your gravitational center. And gives you a feeling of rootedness, grounding, solidity. You might feel like a big Buddha statue or a mountain sitting mountain. The perception of your Hara center allows you to connect directly with the place where you're in. It's grounding you in that place, exactly where you are. That is your here. And it also allows you to be present in the now. So we're converging all the energy that otherwise would go into thinking into this perception of our Hara center. Keep bringing the energy of your attention to that part of your body. And the more energy comes there, the more you might perceive certain sensations in your belly. Maybe some movement, or maybe a sense of density or solidity, as if there is a ball inside, like a tennis ball or a golf ball. Or maybe you will perceive it as watery, dense but more liquid. It doesn't matter. Just feel it and explore that. Every time you bring your attention to your Hara center, you are connecting also directly with existence. It's like a direct portal, direct connection, a link. You might also perceive the sense of deep stillness in that belly center. You might perceive the movement of the breath and a still point deep below your navel, inside. If you notice your mind is wandering away for a few moments, just notice that without any fight or any judgment. And simply redirect that energy, redirect your attention to your belly, as if you allow that mental energy from the head to fall down, straight down to your Hara. Let all the thoughts dissolve and fall down. Let that energy fall back down. Relaxing into your belly, feeling at home there. Centering yourself in this moment. Enjoy the feeling that nothing is happening and the stillness of that center. And the movement of the breath that nourishes it. The more deep you allow the breath to go down, the easier it is for the prana to nourish and hit your belly center. So it's important to keep relaxing the breathing. Let it be with no holding. Let it move deep down towards the earth. remembering that there is nothing that needs to happen. Just allowing yourself to be connected to that center in stillness and relaxation. Nothing else to achieve. Nothing to desire. Because you're already home where you want to be. You're just relaxing at home. We are in this moment already where we always wanted to be. If you notice the mind wants to find some desire, something to achieve or something that is not as it should be, let those thoughts go and relax back into the perfection of this eventless moment. Allow that space where nothing is happening and you're not doing anything. And slowly coming back to the group. Very nice. I felt a very deep space this morning. So now my eyes are open. I see the late arrivals. So let me scold you. There are 3 or 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 5 people that came late. I tell you a trick. I always think the session is starting at 8:15 because that's actually when I, if everything goes well with my computer, that's when I turn the connection on and people start coming. And there is some sweet music, and we actually sit in those 10-15 minutes before the session. We already sit together. So we prepare ourselves for the session. It's a beautiful thing. Instead of arriving 10 minutes later, try 10 minutes earlier because it's really worth it. So on one hand, you have time to sit more. It's only once a week. It's worth it. If I share something, you might miss something that's important for you to hear. And like today, we might start sitting right away. And because it's a guided meditation, I'm guiding you through a process. So if you come in 10 minutes later, you missed part of the process, which is not so good. Or let's say the meditation cannot go as deep because you're missing one piece. So many reasons to come earlier. Nice to see you though. Very nice to see you. So let's open the space if somebody wants to share something or has a question or anything. Rafa.
You told being in now and in this place. And last week I was hiking by myself in the mountains. I do it once a year for some day. And in this now, I was in now, but I was also in the mountains. And more I was in now, and now more I was in here, more I was expanding myself. And opening, and I was losing my identity too, but it was here, and I have the picture of the universe, and I am a point of infinity.
Okay.
And
beautiful.
Yes, and I was feeling also the connection, so to be a part of, and the connection of everything. And that's love, accepting everything, accepting because they are existing.
The deeper we go, we allow ourselves to go inside in that space of deep aloneness, you may call it. The more we realize that aloneness is not really aloneness, because the deeper you go in there, the more connected you feel to existence. So you're actually not alone. It's like you are in the arms of your mother that is holding you, which is the whole universe itself, the whole creation. That's where we come from. That's what we are. So you might have those feelings of expansions as you go deep inside. Beautiful. Let it happen. Nothing wrong. Keep going. Keep going. Buddha used to say Chareveti, Chareveti, which means in Sanskrit, actually, I don't think it's Sanskrit, I think it's Pali. Buddha used to say Chareveti, Chareveti, which means he would listen to the disciples sharing their experiences. You know, sometimes they were really amazing experiences like that, expansions. And he would say, good, Chareveti, that means keep going, keep going. Don't stop here. There's still a long way to go. Enjoy the experience and let it be, and keep going.
And it's really funny that you are talking about loneliness, because that's my biggest fear, to be alone,
Yes.
because of my childhood. And for these reasons, I was decided for 8 years to make a confrontation with being alone. And I was decided to be alone for 1 week in the mountains. And I'm doing every time this. And I'm losing myself in this being alone. And it's one of the most important weeks in my year.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it is a time of deep aloneness. That's what we all need. And that's what we all are afraid of. Especially when you're not alone for a few minutes, but you're alone for a few days or a few weeks, then you start entering into that deeply. And that's a beautiful time to face that angst, no? There's a kind of sense of anxiety at first. And then if you look deeper, what is this anxiety about? Most of the time you notice, oh, it's fear to be alone, where nothing is happening and I'm alone. Yeah, so there's a beautiful moment to take the opportunity to face them and inquire into them. Yeah. Thanks, Rafa, for sharing that. Yeah. Anybody else wants to share something? Abhilasha?
Yeah, for me it was this deep black hole in the beginning. So really to go into this black stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, it is very nourishing also. So I could relax the body. But I noticed that I always run away from this.
Yeah.
So to keep myself up,
Because
not to relax the whole body, to fall into this hole somehow.
Yeah.
And when I could relax and breathe with it, but it's very nice that we are together, because this is really deep fear.
Yes, it helps. It
Yeah.
helps to have a support of the group. Yeah.
And then
Beautiful.
I could relax the body also, and then kind of dissolve.
Yeah.
And I could really feel also the nourishing of the black.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's very courageous.
Then I felt also, okay, up to breathe into it. Then you bring some light into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel more connected also with the sky, with up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. That's exactly where we need that courage.
Mm.
When the night looks really dark, when
Yeah.
the moment feels like a big black hole, and if I let go, I'm gonna fall into that, I'm gonna disappear. Who knows what is gonna happen? That's scary. Yeah. So it takes courage. But it's beautiful that, first of all, that you're so aware of it, and that you can feel that fear, because some people are not even in contact with that fear. They have to dig so deep. They just keep running away, they don't even notice it. So you're in a beautiful place where you're completely aware of that fear. You're feeling it. You cannot ignore it, it's taking over your whole body. So you cannot ignore it. And then you use that as your portal, that is what's happening in your moment. So that means being present. You are present. In that fear, you are present. So that's your entry point. Beautiful. So you go in a little bit at a time. Just let me explore. What is this fear? What is there to be afraid of, really?
Mm.
The fact is, you don't know, because it's the unknown that scares us, what we don't know. That's why we call it black, because we can't see anything. Right? So to just tell yourself, well, yeah, you're afraid, but you don't even know what you're afraid of because it's all black. So let's go have a look and just allow yourself to go into that blackness and feel it. So one way is to use feeling to enter into that. We call it self-inquiry. Self-inquiry that starts from the physical sensations. Yeah, maybe you feel it in your shoulder, in your neck, maybe in your chest. Doesn't matter, wherever you feel it, you can use that perception to enter into that fear. Yeah. And then slowly you just relax into it, as you said, exactly as you said. Slowly you start relaxing into the blackness, and even the blackness becomes nourishing because you're relaxing into it. You stop fighting it.
Mm.
So the fear is slowly dissolving. That's why you feel you're being nourished, actually. Perfect. That's just keep going. That's exactly the way to do it. Very good.
Thank you.
Very courageous. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because we all have it. And in different degrees, sometimes we're not aware, but it's always there. Rafa, yeah, you want
Do
to
you
add
know?
something?
Yeah. Do you know Tiziano Terzani?
Yes.
Okay. I was reading a book, and to the daughter was marrying, and he was telling about a poem, and it say, if you want to find the right way, you have you need the courage to lose yourself.
Yes.
And this is this moment in when it's black, is a
Yeah.
big fear of losing everything.
Yes.
But yeah.
And I would add, maybe to be even more specific, we can say you have to have the courage to lose yourself, which means you have to have the courage to lose what you know. Yeah, because even the self, yourself, when we say yourself, the self that we're talking about is the self that you know. It's your egoic self. Yeah. And so you have to have the courage to move into the unknown, as we were saying with Abhilasha. Yeah. What we define as black sometimes. It could also be white, huh? But usually black gives the idea of, ooh, something scary and unknown. We don't know what it is. I can't see anything usually because when my eyes are closed, I see black. So I cannot see. Black means I cannot see. Or we could say, I don't know what's there. Even better. So let me go and look so that I can see what is there. Then the black will transform itself into something else, like a feeling, even a feeling of being nourished by the blackness, for example, as Abhilasha was sharing. So to move deep into meditation, we have to let go of everything we know, which means, everything that is comprises in our knowledge, in our egoic self, all the informations that we collected, all the projections that we have, what we think that we might have to feel, or we might feel if something happens and we go in there, just let go of everything. And all the mystics have said that. They have said, look, you don't know truth, and it will be probably something completely different than what you could have ever imagined. So don't make any effort in trying to project or imagining or thinking that you don't know. And that's the fact. So the meditation is a journey into the unknown. It's an adventure into the unknown. So always we should try to empty ourselves when we start our practice. And the deeper we go, we just have to let go of any thought, projections, imagination, and just experience directly, because truth can only be experienced directly. Yeah. And anything that comes from the mind is not direct. It's filtered through the mind. So meditation is a direct experience of what it is. It doesn't matter what it appears to be. If it's black, beautiful. If it's orange, beautiful. Just go into the orange or go into the black. It doesn't matter. We are here to experience directly what is. If it's fear, beautiful. Go into directly experience that fear as deeply as you can. Find its roots, discover what it is. If it's bliss, good, go directly into the bliss. Don't stop there. It doesn't matter. It's the attitude of wanting to experience directly what is that counts. Yeah. And so to do that, we have to let go of what we know. What we call knowledge, expectations, fears, projections. And in a humble way, realize, I don't know shit. Really. I mean, you put me in front of this immense universe, it's like, there's nothing else I can say, but I don't know shit. Yeah. So Socrates, that was one of the most intelligent and enlightened being we had in the West. At the end of his life, he used to say, well, now finally I know something. And all the disciples would say, they would gather around and say, okay, finally, he's got, tell us, what do you know? And they said, well, Now I know that I don't know. Yeah. That's true wisdom. Now I know that I don't know, you know? So if we move into a humble way, into the present moment, into ourselves, into existence more and more, the more we go in, the more we realize, whoa, this is an immense mystery that does not need to be solved. Now, this is very important. I'm telling this to your mind. It is an immense mystery that does not need to be solved, but experienced. Yeah. Because when you hear the word mystery, you go like, ooh, your mind goes like, ooh, wow, a mystery, good. I'm going to explore it and solve the mystery. No, no, no. That's your mind. The mystery is so vast, and that's what all the mystics have said to us. It's so immense, so bottomless, infinite, that there is no way that is not going to remain always an immense mystery. And you can go deeper and deeper into it, and the deeper you go, the more you're still in the mystery, because it's bottomless. So the journey is never ending. You could say that too. So our practice is a constant, eternal exploration. That to explore, we use the main tool that is our consciousness. It's consciousness exploring itself. Because that's what we do, right? We dive into ourself. What our true self is consciousness. It's consciousness exploring consciousness. And it's a mystery that will remain such. Even though many insight, many understandings will come, not saying you will not see the light, if you want to call it, in different moments. You will have insights, you will have understanding, you will have experiences. But the mystery will not be solved. So there is always more. That's why Buddha was saying, Chareveti, Chareveti, keep going. And be humble in realizing, wow, the more I know that I don't know. Or the deeper I go, the more I know that I don't know. And that's a beautiful space to rest in, that not knowing. It's exactly what we want. Because yet we're innocent. We're pure in that space of not knowing. We're like a child. That's why even Jesus, was saying, be like a child. And now I don't know his exact words, but the meaning was, the kingdom of God will open to a child, but not to a knowledgeable person, not to a rabbi or a priest or a pope or somebody that carries a lot of knowledge. They will never be able to be penetrated by the truth. Because you have to be empty for that to happen, right? The famous empty cup we talked about. So allow yourself not to know and to rest into that space of not knowing. Yeah, it means you're emptying yourself. And once you're empty, then existence can pour in. So with very much humbleness, we have to go back to our cushion and feel like I sit into a not knowing. I have no idea what I'm going to experience, what I'm going to see. I allow myself to sit in a space where nothing is happening. Good. Or it feels empty. Good. Or, whoa, it's scary. I start feeling really alone and nothing is happening here. Good. Keep going. Keep going without knowing. And then fear dissolves. The more you go in, the more fear dissolves because you realize, wow, there's nothing to be afraid of. It was just me not knowing that created the fear. You might be afraid of loneliness and this anxiety that is attached to that, right? And then you go into that loneliness and you realize, you start connecting, you start feeling the whole existence. And you realize, oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. I actually feel very connected to everything. I'm not alone. So fears do dissolve the deeper we go. But we might also encounter new fears as we go deeper. Good, because they're sitting in the subconscious. Welcome them. Welcome them. It's the result of your good work. It means you went deep. You might experience something you never experienced before. You might encounter a fear you never consciously experienced in this life. Beautiful. Be happy about that. It means you're going deeper. Yes. What a beautiful adventure. Yeah, life is not boring. Even if when nothing is happening, it's not boring. On the contrary, there's so much to observe. I'm spending a lot of time alone in these days where nothing is happening. Sometimes it's even difficult to stay awake. There's like, I want to doze off. Let me do something. And I don't want to feel this nothing happening. Let me turn the TV on, or let me turn the computer on. And then I go like, okay, what are you trying to avoid? Well, nothing is happening, you know. I have to entertain myself. And who is saying that? And the mind goes like, me? Good. Okay, mind. I can see you're saying that, but I'm not going to listen. Thank you for trying. So days go by like that. Nothing is happening. And then the mind gets bored. It's like, come on, let's, turn your computer on. Let's go on Facebook and see some scrolling down for hours into the feed, reading things, not reading, looking at the pictures. And then you go like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Well, because nothing is happening. And I go like, okay, who is saying that? And the mind was like, me. Okay. Thank you, mind, for trying to switch the computer off. Let's stay in this space. Let me feel it. Like that. Moment by moment, you just keep applying that awareness of what is happening. And fall back into that space where nothing is happening, where you're lonely, feeling loneliness, feeling anxiety of that loneliness. Beautiful. And then sometimes it's good to move your body and shake it and go for a run or a walk and be out in nature. Yeah, I'm not saying spend all your life closed in the house. You know, you can be alone in the forest. You can be alone in the ocean with a surfing board. There's many, many ways to be alone. So don't forget to be in nature anytime, every time you can. But keep observing the moment when you're trying to escape, run away from something, distracting yourself from feeling something. Very important, yeah? That's where awareness is at work. Don't go in automatic. In other words, you're stepping out of your automatism. Your automatic reply. You wake up in the morning, you know, you drink your coffee or tea, whatever, and then automatically, you know, maybe you turn your phone on. Or say, oh, let me see if I have messages. Or you go onto your email. And then you read something, maybe something in email or some news come up, and then you start, ooh, yeah. So if you decide to meditate, sit in the morning, even if you sit for 20 minutes, doesn't matter. Don't do that before. Wake up, drink your tea, wash your face, wash your teeth, do whatever you need to do, then sit. Postpone turning on any device, at least until after sitting, at least. You know, or you can decide, okay, until before 10 o'clock, I don't turn on anything. Or 11 o'clock. You can even do 4 in the afternoon. It's up to you. But stretch it, you know, stretch that time where you don't get stimulations, don't get input in your mind. Just allow that shit, nothing is happening. I haven't turned on my phone yet. I don't know what's happening. Ooh, that restlessness. Maybe something has happened. Maybe there's something I need to know. Maybe some news. Maybe somebody sent me a message. Wait, okay, watch that restlessness and say, okay, who is saying that? Me, the mind. Okay, postpone it. Okay, mind, we'll do that later. It's not yet 11 o'clock. Whatever, you know, create a discipline for yourself if it's too difficult to do it. Just fix a time. But allow in your life more and more space when you don't have stimulations, when nothing is happening. Allow that. Don't be afraid. And if you're afraid, notice that you're afraid and go into that fear and see, what am I afraid of? Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I preach my own practice. So. It's not that I'm not practicing. I'm here on somewhere up on the clouds talking to you. No. I am on the same clouds you are. So that's a good thing we did in the practice today, in the meditation. That's one way you can anchor yourself to the present moment through the perception of the Hara, of the belly. That's very nice. I do that often. Feel the earth, feel the belly relaxing, feel you breathing in the belly. That really brings you back into the moment. And then fear dissolves also. Restlessness dissolves, anxiety dissolves when you go back into your belly. That you can do during the day, many times, every time you remember, until it becomes an automatic remembrance. You have that perception of your Hara throughout your day. Keep doing that until it becomes natural. It happens by itself. Another thing I do in the day is like I realized it's very important, because when we sit and say, okay, I'm going to meditate now, like I do that sometimes. I decide I'm going to sit. I have time. I'm going to sit and meditate. Sit on my cushion, close my eyes. And I feel, suddenly, I feel like I'm doing something. I can't go anywhere deep inside. You know why? Because I'm doing meditation. Man, that's a tricky thing. So I'm trying different experiments. I meditate with open eyes. Exactly in one moment, I decide, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to sit, close my eyes and meditate. Instead of saying that, I say, be present now. In this moment, don't close your eyes, just here now, while you're watching the screen, while you're watching my face or the screen of your computer. Be present now. Feel your body. Feel that there is something that is looking through your eyes, right? There's some awareness. Who is looking through your eyes? So you see the object, which is the screen, but you also feel the subject right now. Feel it. Sense it right now. Feel yourself right now. Just feel, don't think. Perception. Be. Yeah, just like that. So this you can do many times during the day, anytime you remember. And you'll be amazed how deep you can go in this moment. Sometimes deeper than sitting and closing your eyes, because the mind stops. For a moment it stops, and you just feel your presence. You feel this moment. That is meditation. So find out ways. If you notice every time you close your eyes, you fall asleep, or you're actually dozing off, or you feel like your mind starts running and start thinking, then open your eyes. Or don't sit, stand. Wherever you are, in whatever position you are, just be. Feel that moment, feel yourself. Stop completely. Make a pause and feel right now. That repeated many times during the day, it can bring a lot of depth, a lot of crystallization of your awareness, of your center. Because you practice over and over, even for a minute, doesn't matter. Even 30 seconds, you practice what it is like to be present for 30 seconds. Just here, feeling this moment. And that's so important. Then slowly, it becomes something that your whole system learns, becomes easier and easier to be present. And then it's such a pleasurable space, you realize at a certain point, that your mind is less active because you have more energy going into presence and less into thinking. Because presence starts becoming a very pleasant sensation. Say, oh my God, yeah, I love this space when nothing is happening. There is no mind fucking, no worries, no past, no future, just this beautiful, quiet, still, present moment. Yeah. So even the mind learns through that. Say, oh, I can be quiet, okay. I switch off. Yeah, practice this during your days. This week, practice this. And next Friday, I want to hear how it went. I want to hear your experiences, each of you. So you cannot forget. Practice it. Okay? Practice frequent pauses where you completely feel yourself, feel the moment, feel yourself in the moment. You will probably become very still in that moment too. It's good. Because everything stops. Inner and outer movement stops. That is meditation. It's good. So that's the good news. You can do it anytime, wherever you are. You don't need to sit on your cushions and close your eyes. This is also good, but it's not enough. Okay? Okay, can you unmute yourself for a moment? Is everybody unmuted? Uday is still muted. Okay, maybe he fell asleep. I'm so entertaining sometimes that people might fall asleep. All right, did you hear what I asked you to do this week?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to hear those yes. Now you cannot say you didn't hear it and you cannot forget it. So this is your weekly practice. Okay. Many times, do it many times. Anytime you remember, do it. Do it for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, it doesn't matter. As long as you want, or as long as you can. Okay. Kisses and hugs. Always nice to be with you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Ciao.
See you next Friday.
Ciao.